Pewdiepie, kill this shit.
Yeah.
If you are watching this, please do comment, like, subscribe, join the notification gang, hit the notification bell, get notifications every and any time I post. Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm out. What is up, YouTube? It is showtime. Back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can guard ISO in NBA 2K21. But before we get started, I am officially monetized on YouTube. This is a very big accolade, a very big achievement, so I want to thank everybody that was involved in the process. It took a while to get here. It's never been about the money. It's never been about trying to be, you know, the biggest flexer, but I think the biggest part about getting monetized is being able to call what I love doing the most a job and not a hobby. It's no longer something that I'm just doing, it's something I'm getting paid to do, and it'll only give me motivation to want to post more for you guys. Money won't change anything. You guys will still be getting the same daily uploads. Don't worry guys, I won't be spamming you with ads. You know, I gotta make my money eventually, guys, you know, but I'm officially monetized, officially partnered with AdSense YouTube, so I appreciate everybody that's been a part of this journey. Thank you to the 1,500 people subscribed to this channel. We are only going to go up from here, and I will not stop posting for you guys, but we're going to get straight into today's video on how you guys can learn how to guard ISO in NBA 2K21 next gen. So as you guys know, ISO this year is a very big deal. It's a very major aspect. I would call it more of a method on how people it's a method people use to win the game. It's clearly excelling and exceeding in this game, but to everything there is a weakness. ISO has a weakness. I've come to the conclusion that these people have got to be stopped, and it's fair that you guys get an understanding of how you guys can stop ISO guards or whatever it is, whoever's ISOing, because it can get really out of hand and ridiculous. It can start to get ugly when they're cooking you possession to possession to possession, and they're just beating you off the dribble, blow buying you, dunking on you, shooting in your face, shooting over those. It can get very frustrating. So I thought, hey, why not make a video for everyone that is playing next gen, or even people still on current gen getting the ISO of hell every once in a while. Just a video on how you guys can start being able to guard ISO, just some tips, tricks, pointers. So the first tip I have for you guys on guarding ISO is the switch. Now I almost want to give it a name. I call this the switch method. It's a method that me and my guard use to always guard ISO, and it works very, very, very well. To be able to succeed and use this method, you have to have very good coordination and communication. You can't be head to head, you can't be toxic. You guys have to have a good understanding of communication of what is actually going on before you guys can guard ISO. For those of you who don't know what ISO is when someone isolates one, kind of like how you see in the clip right now. I'm getting one, it's a one-on-one versus where you know, you're just getting isolated on the court, and one person usually stands corner and wing for a free jump shot. You get beat off, you can get cooked, you can get beat off the dribble, all that good stuff, all that toxic stuff. And what you want to do is avoid spacing, because the more space they have, the easier it is for them to score. Tis why I use the switch method. Now the switch method is where you switch. It's pretty self-explanatory. Here's how I'll exactly detail it to make it easy for you guys to understand. Say someone's ISOing you on top. I will leave a clip as I'm saying it right now. All you really have to do is switch. So as you can see in this clip, I was getting ISO'd on top, or my friend was getting ISO'd on top, and because I'm the center and I have better paint defense, the minute my friend gets beat off the dribble, I run to the paint and I guard everything in the paint, and my friend will get the perimeter. This will work for you. Usually on twos, people play with a center and a guard. This year, not. People use point guard and a guard. This method can work for anybody. Whichever of the two have better paint defense and can get there and get blocks in the paint should be running to the paint, guarding the paint, locking down the paint while one gets the perimeter. You are only supposed to do this when someone gets beat off the dribble or blown by. As you can see here in this clip that I probably will play multiple times or give multiple examples of, the person on top gets beat off the dribble. I end up switching to the paint because they didn't beat off the dribble, and my friend or my duo partner will run straight to the perimeter so that the other person that's playing isn't wide open. So I hope that was easy to understand. This is probably the biggest tip. You guys do need a lot of communication. You have to communicate when to switch. You have to sometimes, even if someone gets blown by, the guard may feel like he can recover. He says, no, don't help me, stay where you are, I don't need that switch. Maybe he feels like he got him, you know. It takes a lot of communication. It doesn't take the highest IQ, or it's not the hardest thing to do. I'd recommend you do this with communication. Some people just automatically know what to do. It gets to a point where it's already instilled in your brain, muscle memory. You're like, oh shoot, ISO, boom, switch method. go revert back to my video if you guys need any help remembering what the switch method is. All you have to do is really do the switch method in order to stop ISO. Another major piece of advice for you guys on how to guard ISO would be to play stick defense. Now, this is more ideal for locks, I would say, but everyone's fast enough. Everybody moves like a lock somewhat. Most centers. I am a center myself. Most locks this year, I will be dropping a build, another lock build. On the best lock build in next gen. Most locks now are power forwards. It's crazy the builds you can make. So stick defense works very well. Most locks use it. Last year, very famous lock, you guys probably know, Stage Slime, good friend of mine, IRL. That's my brody, my brother. He's a lock and he actually uses stick defense. I don't know if he actually told you guys this or if I kind of leaked it, but he uses stick defense and it works very well on ISO. I'm gonna actually go back to an old tip. So my second tip is going to be never use L2 to play defense. You want to play L2 with the turbo button. You kind of want to run around and pace with the person that you're guarding. I've said this multiple times, never play defense with your L2 button unless you're kind of in the paint, I guess. When you're playing in the perimeter and you're trying to keep up with someone that's way faster than you, dribbling way faster than you are, you need to play defense with only your turbo stick and your stick. So your turbo button and your pro stick. How you play stick defense is you basically just lift up your pro stick up towards the sky, upwards, you know, north, and your hand will kind of stick out. That way you get a good contest on whoever's shooting. The stick defense is more for people. You use that to contest on the perimeter, and you kind of play back at the same time. That way, if he blows by you, you're far back enough to recover and get to the paint. And if he decides to shoot over you because he feels like he has that space, you have that pro stick up, your hand wide open, your hand high in the sky, ready to contest whatever jump shot he's about to take. Pro stick is definitely one of the more overpowered defense mechanisms to use in the game. I've seen many locks use it. If you don't know how to do it, you gotta learn. It's as simple as just being able to play back while playing up in a way. So you're playing mid, the pro stick, once again you just raise it, it'll raise your hand up, you get that pro stick defense. That is in order so that you guys can get a good shot contest on ISO players especially. So my second piece of advice to you guys is to not play defense with your L2 button. It will slow you down. You will get in the intense defense animation. You do not want to use this when guarding anybody on the perimeter. And my third piece of advice that kind of came in with the second piece of advice is to use the pro stick defense mechanism. It works very well on the perimeter. When they drop down to the paint, it'd be more ideal to hold your L2 button. That way you have intense defense in the paint and you can get an even better contest. You can still use stick defense in the paint. I'd suggest you jump now, especially this year. I noticed that you have to jump, which is my next suggestion. Use rim protector, Hall of Fame, or whatever you need rim protector. So a lot of people are in favor of pogo stick this year. I was never a big fan of it because I always felt like, okay, you can teach yourself to jump at the right time instead of wasting a whole badge on pogo stick. This year it is fairly hard to get a contest on these contact dunks slashers. Paint defense is pretty OP right now. You can get a contest for sure, but at the same time you got to know when to jump. You got to get your blocks. If you're not getting your blocks, if you're not jumping at the right time, you're going to get dunked on all day and night. So those are my 3 tips to you guys on how you guys can be able to guard ISO at a high level. It requires a lot of communication, a little bit of skill, just a lot of communication, and you guys can start guarding ISO players and getting your W's in NBA 2K21 next gen. So that is all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and these tips and tricks that I did give you. Let me know how they worked out for you. Let me know if you're able to guard ISO. If you do not have PS5 yet, let me know what build you will be making on PS5. If you already have PS5, let me know what build you have. Drop some suggestions on other defensive methods that you guys have to be able to play defense. We're a community. You guys can share ideas, share thoughts in the comment section. Once again, if you guys did like this video, all you got to do is leave a big like. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel if you support what I'm doing, love what I'm doing. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notifications every and any time I post on this channel. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. 2,000 subs on the way, and I'm out.